my friends. I'm Danielle, homeschooling mother of 7. I am here talking to you about things to freeze. So today I want to address 5 things you should have in your freezer for easy access and for efficiency. I have never loved to cook. That is a secret. I have to cook so much having 7 children, but it has not been a passion or a love of mine. Even though I do not love to be in the kitchen, I am in the kitchen a lot. But you know what I do love? I love when I have little hacks that make my time in the kitchen more convenient, more efficient, and more streamlined. So I'm always looking for those, always trying to set those up for myself. And if you are a busy mom, time is always an issue. 5 food items to have in your freezer. These are not meals. These are just easy access items to pull out. I'm coming to you today. I'm not feeling cute, but I never try to be anything but who I am, and who I am is scruffy. Real life is messy, and I bring you real life here. And real life says I have pancake batter on my sweater and something on my knees. I'm not quite sure what it is, but about the level of my 2-year-old, so I'm gonna go with barbecue sauce. Also, my kitchen is not clean, but if I waited until my kitchen is clean to come and talk to you, that would be a problem, because right now my daughter's sleeping, and later, when my kitchen's clean, she's gonna be awake. So I am working on a chicken pot pie. Okay, I need to put some frozen chicken in my Instapot. Why not put a bunch of frozen chicken in my Instapot? And this is one of the things I do, because I think when you are making, especially a meat for a meal, cook extra and then shred it and stick it in the fridge. So shredded chicken is something that is so handy to have, especially with a big family and a growing family, children who like to eat. It is so handy to pull out some shredded chicken and stick them in quesadillas, stick them in tacos to make a quick put together meal, but doesn't require a ton of time. If you put your chicken in your KitchenAid, if you have one, that is a really handy way to shred it quickly. Just make sure you don't over shred it. I got a lot of noisy children today. I am going to put mine in 2-cup portions, and I'm going to freeze them in little bags. Another idea for freezing chicken, if you don't like to use bags and you have the space in your freezer, is to put the chicken in mason jars. Those freeze without cracking and breaking. If you want to use a 16-ounce mason jar, then you can shove all that chicken in there. You know you have 2 cups. If you are using mason jars, make sure that your chicken is fully cooled before you put it in there. Next, it's brown sugar. I cannot tell you how many times I have had a recipe where it requires brown sugar, and I go to get the brown sugar, which I do not use too frequently, and I open it up and it is hard as a rock. And you try all the stuff, put a little water in there, stick it in the microwave. I don't have a microwave, so I can't do that. Soften it up in any way you can, and then you scrape it until you get enough for that 1/4 cup or 1/2 cup. Freezing brown sugar is so handy. You can freeze it in bags, you can freeze it in little silicone containers, and I like to freeze it in 1/4 cup parcels. This also is great if you just want to pop a 1/4 cup parcel out and stick it in your oatmeal, but I never want to have to go to the store to buy another box or bag of brown sugar because I've wasted 3/4 of a box. Third is lemon juice. Lemons are not something I always have on hand. Either I'm using them constantly and I'm buying them and going through them, or I am not thinking to buy them, and then when I have a recipe that requires lemon juice, or if I want to put a little lemon in my water, or if I need some for apples or a dozen different things, I need lemon juice and I have none. It is really handy to get some lemons, freshly squeeze them yourself, and then stick them in a little silicone container. I am going to freeze a tablespoon because often it's a tablespoon that you need. If it's less than that, you can always cut it with a sharp knife. And once those tablespoon clumps of lemon juice are frozen, you just pop them out and you stick them in a bag or some kind of container. Number 4 is onions. Oh my goodness. If you are either food processing onions for a meal, do extra. Or if you're having to chop them up, which I do because I don't like them to be overly processed. If you're having to chop them up, put on your ski goggles, chop up a bunch, and freeze them. This saves so much time. If you're making an omelet, all you need is a 1/4 cup of onions. If you are making meatloaf and all you need is a 1/2 cup of onions, then you have them readily available in the freezer. I do not love to chop onions. It makes me cry so much unless I'm wearing ski goggles. However, last time I could not find any ski goggles and I was just crying because it was a fresh and beautiful onion. It was like this big. My eyes were burning for like 2 hours after that. To try and minimize the amount of time that I'm chopping onions, I like to freeze my onions. I love onions. I like to add them to so many different meals. But sometimes it's daunting if you have 6 ingredients and you have to get out and chop onions because everything else is easy. Did I say 5? I mean 6 because I have to include this one. It's shredded cheese. I love cheese and we use it for a lot of meals. And sometimes you just want a little shredded cheese to put on your omelet. And it's not hard to shred cheese, but oftentimes because people like shredded cheese on everything, they get those little bags of shredded cheese. And you guys know there's just added ingredients. And anytime we can get away from the added ingredients and just go for the product, no added ingredients, it's better. So just grate a bunch and freeze some. Then if you need it for a recipe, you could just pop it out, break it up, or you can put it in the refrigerator to unthaw for 24 hours. Either way, it's a handy thing to have in your freezer. And then of course you need to freeze garlic. There are so many times I get garlic for specific meals and then it just sits in my cabinet. So if you freeze garlic, then it's super easy to chop up and mince and stick in recipes. In your quest for more organized habits, in your quest for implementing routines, it's just little simple things that we do. Sometimes we do them daily and sometimes we do them when we're doing the same task but for another recipe. This year I am on a quest to be better organized. I am on a quest to declutter my home. Maybe not all of it, but parts of my home. I am on a quest to streamline my life and I hope you will join me. I hope you will come along. The biggest thing I have gotten from women on my channel, friends of mine, just women in general, is we need to be more organized. How can we be more organized? That is a question that I am constantly asking myself. And anytime I come up with something that is really helping me, anytime it just in a tiny, minuscule way helps my day, I log it. All right. That's what I have for you, you guys. I hope you stick some of these in your freezer for more accessible ingredients as you're cooking. Any way we can streamline our lives as moms, it's good. It's bueno. And if you get in the habit of putting more in your freezer so that it's easy to grab, you will not forget about it and then find it a year later. All right, team, remember, no one can mom your kids like you. Happy cooking.